Hello everyone, it's Gamer4 here again with another challenge run video. For this video, I'm going to be focusing on using Ghiza's wheel, or as many like to call it, the colossal pizza cutter. It's a giant serrated wheel of deals that does a good amount of bleed buildup. With its skill, the spinning wheel, it can proc blood loss pretty easily. Oh yeah, it's pizza time. Also, I will be placing a handicap on myself that I can upgrade my health and FP flask only a singular time. It's mostly to keep things a bit interesting. Anyways, it's time to get right to it. I go and get the essentials for the Great Lift, help Raya get her locket back, just so I can get easy access to Volcano Manor early. Now I level up a bit as insurance against the invader NPC that holds the weapon. Not that it was needed, as the invader failed to hit me once as I abused the range of the halberd. Took about 6 minutes to finish the fight, but it's honestly better than failing and restarting. With the pizza cutter finally in my possession, it's time to truly start the run. But with its cost of 28 strength and 18 dexterity, I farm a bit to level up, till I can comfortably two-hand the weapon. Then start collecting a bunch of somber stones to level up the cutter. After buying whatever else stones I'm missing from EG, I upgrade the wheel to +6. And then I go and collect the strength knot tier and the dexterity knot tier for boost and damage. Also go get one piece of armor that I'll be using for the run. Now I head to the abandoned cave and upgrade my flask a singular time for the rest of the run. Then head deeper inside the cave to pizza cut my way to victory in order to obtain the golden scarab for bonus rune gain. Also, I got vomited on in the process. Not a good time to be had because of it. After slicing into the invader near Murkwater Cave, I get some pants finally, then gift patches the old minimum wage special of not caring how to cut a pizza. Now I buy Margit's shackle, and it's time to fight Margit, whose health was sliced over half at the start of the battle. Then the rest of the encounter was an exchange of blows until Margit dies. All that fighting took about 1 minute and 35 seconds. With Margit defeated, I go and get my final piece of armor. I was going for a uniform with grease stains on it look. I think there might be better armor pieces for such fashion, but this will do for the rest of the run. Now it's time for Godrick, who couldn't make the cut. Pretty much each skill use left him taking bleed damage. After taking big slices of life out of him, Godrick goes down in about 1 minute and 35 seconds. Now I level up, shred the abs of the demi-human queen to get the ritual sword talisman for bonus damage at full health. Now off to Raya Lucaria I go, destroy the red wolf of Radagon, split the Carrion Knight in half, level up, then go and fight Rennala. Excuse me, did someone order a pepperoni pizza? First phase was as easy as it could get, with Bleed being the MVP here. Second phase went surprisingly smooth with no summons, but there was a lot of moon attacks. Rennala goes down in about 2 minutes and 48 seconds. With Rennala defeated, I go and get the branch sword talisman by defeating the death bird at the lake. Level up, then head to Castle Morn to delete the boss there in order to receive the Grafted Blade Greatsword. in order to buff my stat attributes with a +5 when the skill is used. With that done, I go to Volcano Manor to fight the Godskin noble there, who proceeded to roll me out like Pixie-Dough in the first attempt, but the second attempt went by much smoother. With the professional Pizza Eater defeated, I go and get the Somberstone 7 here, then go and get 8 and 9 at Dragon Barrel, allowing me to level up my weapon to +9. Now I go and delete Commander O'Neill to get his spear for the Rally Standard skill. And off to Redmane Castle to fight Radahn. And the fight against Radahn went pretty well, other than the start being a bit of a problem. The bleed and damage of the Pizza Cutter made pretty good work of him. Radahn goes down in about 2 minutes and 34 seconds. With Radahn down, I go and duplicate his remembrance, level up, then after buffing a bit, I go and show the Draconic Tree Sentinel who's boss. Poor guy lasted only about 25 seconds. With access to the capital, I go into the sewers, trying to avoid the poop lobsters to the best of my ability. Get Mohg's shackle. Eliminate the boss in the catacombs nearby to get the Lord of Blood's exaltation, which gives bonus damage whenever I cause blood loss. Now back at the capital, I go and fight the spirit of Godfrey, who is easily manipulated to do his ranged dive attack for easy damage. And with Phantom Godfrey defeated, it's time to pay Morgott a visit. For the start of the fight, I forgot to equip his shackle, which led me to getting damaged. But with the shackle's help, I just bleed him dry without much of a problem. Blood loss damage is truly OP. Poor guy only lasted about 1 minute and 57 seconds. Now with access to the mountaintop of the giants, I duplicate Radahn's remembrance again, test out the spinning wheel on a ghost, then face off against Commander Niall. For the fight against Niall, I eliminate the summons as quickly as possible. Then for Niall himself, I attack right after he attacks. Good thing I can dodge away while using the skill. The fight with Commander Niall took about 2 minutes and 7 seconds. With the commander down, I get one half of the secret medallion, get the other half at the village of the Albinaurics. With access to the consecrated snowfield now available, I cut down an invader to get the ancient dragon somber smithing stone. Then after getting my ass nearly handed to me, I cheese another invader off the cliff, which allows passage to Mohg's palace, where I make my way up the blood zombie ascend. Then go and eliminate Eleonora to get the purifying crystal tier, level up a bit, Give Gideon's minion a very aggressive back rub. Fully upgrade my weapon to +10. And with this newfound power, I attempt to slice Mohg's life away. We end up killing each other at the same time, but with his long death animation, I ended up without a victory. So I go and get seppuku at the frozen lake, then get the twin bird shield by killing the death bird near the capital. With this newfound power, I challenge Mohg without much of a hassle. Taking him out right before he recovers any health. His encounter lasted about 40 seconds, and I died one time. Now back at the consecrated snowfield, I head into the liturgical town to light up all the candles, allowing access to the Haligtree where I was bullied by 2 buff wizards. Challenge Loretta where I go all unga bunga on her by sending out jump attacks more often instead of using the spinning wheel. The fight against Loretta lasted about 1 minute and 39 seconds, and I died one time. Making my way down towards the Grace to Malenia, I get projectile spammed to death with no mercy. Activate the Grace for later. Now it's time to start Brother Corrin's and Gold Mask's quest. But because I lack the intelligence to use the Law of Regression incantation, I go jump on the rooftops of Rhea Lucaria, eliminate the random glintstone crab to get the Twin Sage Crown for +6 to intelligence, get Marika's Soar Seal for a +5, and the Intelligence Not Crystal tier for a +10. Now with all my buffs active, I can use the incantation on the statue and relay the information back to Gold Mask. Then meet them one more time at the mountaintop with Gold Mask T-posing at the abyss. And with that done, now it's time to fight Fire Giant. For Fire Giant, his encounter wasn't much of a problem. The only issue I had was dealing with the annoying homing fireballs he loves to spawn in. This is especially the case for phase 2 of the battle. Also, it didn't help that I was one hit away from dying around the end, but eventually he goes down, with Fire Giant taking about 8 minutes and 11 seconds to beat, and I died one time. With the giant down, I've now gained access to Faram Azula, where I finally use all the runes I accumulated for a big level up. With my character now stronger, I put the Godskins to sleep without much of a problem except getting a windmill to the face, buff myself up, then bleed the Godskins to death. After one last preemptive pizza cutter attack, the Godskin duo goes down in about 1 minute and 47 seconds. Then it's time to pay good old Alexander a visit to get the talisman he drops to increase skill damage. Moving through this beast-infested area, I go and challenge Dragonlord for his juicy runes. Now Dragonlord here is pretty resistant to bleed, so most of the fight I spent tickling him with the spinning wheel. Also, don't you just love it when your health isn't low enough to activate the branch sword talisman? Even though I had low health, it wasn't that bad, with it taking about 9 minutes and 52 seconds to beat Dragonlord. No wait, strike that, it was kinda bad. I died 2 times against him. Now I go and attempt Maliketh, which the fights consisted of me getting pelted by rocks and dying due to the camera having a bit of a seizure while locking onto him. Because of this, I think it's time to get a new talisman, so I take the opportunity to go and do Millicent's quest. So I take out the Godskin at the Windmill Village. Almost get outplayed by a giant rotten tree serpent. But eventually taken down through cheesy means. Then help Millicent against her sisters. The Pixacutter actually did pretty well against the invaders. With Millicent taking most of the aggro, I pretty much just sliced right through them. The Rotted Wing Sword insignia to get bonus damage after successive attacks. I don't actually know if it activates when using the skill, but I hope it does. And after one more failed attempt against Maliketh, I decide to go the good old-fashioned jump attack route for the first phase. Second phase went much more smoother than the first, as he would leave himself vulnerable to the Pixacutter. His Destined Death move especially made him open to attacks. Maliketh goes down in about 3 minutes and 35 seconds. And I died 3 times. With Maliketh down, I go and start selling all the gold runes and remembrances I collected. Level up, and now it's time to fight the pain train that is Malenia. The lack of an effective means to heal myself really shows here. Those upgraded flasks are truly a godsend as little mistake erasers. Without them, just look at how often I died against them. But then again, I imposed a limitation onto myself, so I shouldn't be complaining. Also, I fought her a lot of times before, so it could have been worse. Anyways, the fight against Malenia was a mixed bag of precision, timing, and RNG. Also with a bit of dodging her blade and hope she doesn't follow up with a hyper armored attack. Thank God that the blood loss cancels her out of waterfall dams. For phase 2, the strategy barely changed. Unfortunately, it went smoother than phase 1. Except for the near heart attack midway through. Eventually, the giant rotten pepperoni gets defeated in about 5 minutes and 17 seconds. And I also died 11 times. With Malenia defeated, I go and get the Mending Rune of the Perfect Pixar from Gold Mask. Proceed to obliterate Gideon. Poor lad can never catch a break. After leveling up a bit, it's now time to fight Godfrey. Excuse me, I'm here to deliver a pixar for Icy Wiener. Seems like Godfrey didn't appreciate the joke. First phase Godfrey pretty much plays the same as his spooky version. When the stomps came out, the fight becomes a lot slower with barely any room to use the spinning pizza cutter. Second phase, I start to not only use the weapon skill but also the normal melee attack. Godfrey eventually goes down after 9 minutes and 38 seconds. I level up again, and now it's time to fight the last bosses. Again, having very shitty class that caused this fight to be a pain in the ass. Of course leveling up vigor would help, but I'm stubborn as hell and just kept on trying. Eventually I went out to the Spirit Caller cave, quickly take out the bosses that reside in the place. Eliminate the Godskin's pet snail, and get the Godskin Swaddling Cloth for health recovery after successive hits. And after making sure my equipment is in order, it's time to head back in. Also suffering a few more deaths along the way. The fight against Radagon was a full-on head-to-head brawl. My pizza cutter against his holy hammer. I mainly used the one-handed strong attack for easy multi-hits in this fight. Now on to Elden Beast. The Elden Beast, being a pretty big boy with a pretty big hitbox, made him easy to score multi-hits on. Also, I used a rune arc during the battle to aid me. The rest of the fight was just dodging disjointed hitboxes and dodging projectile spam. With all that done, Radagon and the Elden Beast took about 8 minutes and 4 seconds to beat. And I died 10 times against them. And after finally arriving with the perfect pizza, the game has been finished by using the pizza cutter, or more specifically, the Ghiza's wheel. Man, I wasn't expecting the wheel's skill to do a boatload of damage like that. Also, the bleed buildup is pretty good, adding to the health bar shredding. It's a tad bit slow, but being able to dodge out of the skill animation is great. Of course, there are much better ways of causing bleed, but the pizza cutter still did well. I did struggle on some bosses like Malenia and Radagon, but I believe that's mostly because of the lack of healing on my part. That limitation really made the run a bit more interesting, as I'm pretty sure if I didn't add that handicap, the game would have been much more easier. I'm saying this because bleed is still an OP status effect. Anyways, it was a fun run, and if you feel like it, I recommend trying it out, minus the health limitation. Well, this has been Worn-Eyed Gamer 4, and make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell notification for alerts when I post a new video. And thanks for watching this video and my previous videos if you have as well. Later.